The story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a small family that consisted of a mother, a father, and a daughter that was named Cinderella. The day was like every other day, the family having their time in the park. But then, the mother fell sick and unable to get up from her bed, and she then dies around the people who love her. After Cinderella's mother died, her father decided to remarry with one with $2. Her name is Tremaine. With her daughters, Drizella and Anastasia. Drizella and Anastasia have light manners and attitude is severely lacking. They pick their food before they eat. They force Cinderella to be their servant and maid. They are always spitting mean words to Cinderella and blaming her for any mistakes they did. Days later, someone's knocking on their door. The man opened the door and received an invitation to a dance party which was held in the castle. She and her daughter were of course intrigued and excited, and maybe it's possible for either Anastasia or Drizella can marry the prince and become a princess. Drizella and her sister then forced Cinderella to make them a dress to wear on the dance party. After praising their daughter looks, Tremaine then calls Cinderella. She thinks that Cinderella can be a burden for her plan to make the prince marry one of her daughters. Tremaine then said that Cinderella cannot come to the party unless she do all the chores and clean the house beforehand. Knowing that she'll never manage to arrive at the dance party, Cinderella then starts crying on the kitchen. When dancing in the castle is one of her biggest dreams. But unexpectedly, her friends come to help the Cinderella to clean the messes around the house. Cinderella then approached back to her stepmother, telling her that everything has been cleaned. To many surprise, Cinderella managed to clean it up that fast. Yet then she said that Cinderella does not embody. To many surprise, Cinderella managed to clean it up that fast. Yet then she said that Cinderella does not embody the look of royalty. Her maid dress is torn, worn, and dirty. She then left with her daughters to the dance party and left Cinderella alone in their house. Cinderella proceeded to sit, stairs, and, well, frustrated, and her friends surrounded her for comforting. Then she ran out of the house while crying. Her friends are worried. And then the fairy mother appears in front of her eyes. She then tells Cinderella that she can grant one wish from her. Cinderella, without hesitation, wishes to go to the castle dance party. The fairy mother then agrees to Cinderella's wish, but there's a catch. Her wish will only be able to last until midnight. She pondered in thoughts, but in the end agrees. Fairy Mother then casts a spell. This spell turns Cinderella worn and torn of maid dress into a graceful and beautiful blue dresses. Cinderella then asks how would she arrive to the castle in time. The Fairy Mother then casts another spell and changes a few pumpkins into an elegant horse wagon, and her rat friends were turned into a coachman and a horse to drive and pull the wagon. Cinderella then says her gratitude to the Fairy Mother. And the Fairy Mother then reminded her that the spell will only last till midnight and told her to be careful. This, Cinderella proceeded to the castle where the dance party was held. She arrived late and last, yet she managed to stall all the people's attention with sheer beauty that even the prince asked her to have a dance with him. you can say that her dreams come true. Not all good things last forever. The midnight is nearing, and Cinderella noticed. She immediately stopped dancing and ran. The prince worries and starts chasing after her. While running down the stairs, one of the Cinderella glass slipper slips and was left behind. Then the prince took the glass slipper while watching Cinderella get in her wagon and runs off to the distance. Days after the prince started to search up who Cinderella is, he wasn't able to remember Cinderella's face, not even knowing her name. She immediately stopped dancing and ran. The prince worries and starts chasing after her. While running down the stairs, one of the Cinderella glass slipper slips and was left behind. Then the prince took the glass slipper while watching Cinderella get in her wagon and runs off to the distance. Days after the prince started to search up who Cinderella is, he wasn't able to remember Cinderella's face, not even knowing her name. He then said, if your feet fits this glass slipper, you can marry me and be my wife. And every woman in the kingdom tried the glass slipper one at a time. To his surprise, no one fits the glass slipper. Until Tremaine tells the prince that her daughter owns an identical glass slipper and asks the prince to come to her house for proof. Arriving at Tremaine's house, the prince is greeted by Cinderella with an identical glass slipper on one of her feet. Then the priest starts to notice something quite odd. The prince and Tremaine then start to have a heated argument with one another, and then ask if there's any other woman in this house. Tremaine said yes, there's one more woman in this house, and that is Cinderella, her housemaid. The prince then walks to Cinderella and asks her to out on the glass slipper, and to no one's surprise, it fits Cinderella. The prince then hugs Cinderella and makes Tremaine mad and devastated that she's unable to make her daughter to be the prince's wife. Days passed and marriage ceremony between the prince and Cinderella were held, and they lived happily ever after. The end.